I'm here to protect the old growth trees. When I'm older, I'll never see them if they cut them down now.
Why are you here?
Because if there is any further ecological destruction at this point in history, life will end, and I don't want that.
I'm going to do different thing. This is not good.
And I'm here with my son, and I wanted to bring my son here so that he could learn some values that are really important to me, that community and ecology are more important than money, that doing what's right is more important than doing what is allowed, and to have a sense of what people can accomplish when they work together on a common goal.
I'm here because I want to join all the amazing and people who are part of this community, just everyone who wants to help stop old growth logging and support Indigenous people and forest offenders. And we have to do everything we can to stop this horrible tragedy.
I'm here because I believe that Indigenous sovereignty is what we need to be fighting for and supporting right now, the Indigenous elders of Pachuca.
And we are here to stop that destruction.
Why are you here?
Well, originally I came just because I love the trees and I utilize the area for fishing and backpacking through hiking. After meeting the community and learning so much about the Pachuca First Nations usage of the land, there's just more and more importance, keeps stacking up in my mind, more reasons for me to be here. And now, after learning everything I've learned in my small time, I'd say it's the people, it's the trees, it's the social justice, and the need to change the way that, industry works.
I am here because this is truly the last stand. There's so little left of our old growth that we have to put an end to it now, otherwise it's gone forever.
Their land, the sacred hunting and fishing grounds, and to protect the last 2.7% of old growth left in British Columbia.
I'm here because it feels like an urgent situation. It's a crisis in my own backyard, so to speak. I live in Victoria, and we just need to stop. We need to change the way we go about business. Yeah, and I feel a lot of compassion and concern for the people who currently rely on logging.
Why are you here?
To document what people haven't seen, because a lot of the forest and the clear cuts people don't know about, and they need to.
Hey, I'm here because the old growth forest is such an incredible resource to not only Vancouver Island but to the world. We have so little of it left. It's such an amazing ecosystem. It's thousands of years old, and it just does so much for us, for the whole planet really, and we need to preserve what's left. There's very little left. I think that what's happening here with logging the old growth is so short-sighted, and I'm here just to call attention to that and to be someone who stands up and says, no, this isn't okay. We want to save this beautiful resource.
I'm here to do my part to stop the logging and for land back. I'm here for the ancient forest and to just, yeah.
Why are you here?
It's all about extinction to me, really. Why destroy something that's already so rare?
We're just destroying biodiversity. We're killing, by destroying the forests, we're killing all the creatures, and that's genocide for the human race.
I'm here for my grandchildren, the trees, all of the people that have come before me and will come after me, and I'm here to take action.
Why are you here?
I love beautiful places and want to help protect them.
I'm here because old growth, the forest is totally important to me. And I think it is to everybody, if they realized there's no more, this is it. There's only about 2.7%.
We're here to protect the ancient old-growth forests because they're the lungs of our planet.
These trees have lived for centuries, giving air and shelter to big and small. These are oldest elders, let them live. We can't let them last ones fall. These are oldest elders, let them live. We can't let the last ones fall. The last ones fall. We can't let the last ones fall.
I'm here to protect the last of the old growth. I just don't believe that we have to cut the old growth. I don't think that this is the reason that these people are going to, they say they're going to lose their jobs, but for the last 2%, it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense.
I'm here because I realize the growth, the importance of the beautiful, beautiful forests here and how much they rely on the old growth. The mother trees are very, very important in their connection to the rest of the forest and the ecology and the watershed and all the animals and plants. They all belong together. And we are at a time in our history where we have some decisions to make like never before in history, and we're either going to make the right decisions, beginning with saving what is left of our beautiful heritage, a beautiful heritage that has been left.
I'm here because someone found me alongside the road. Me and my buddy, we broke down on top of a mountain. We hiked all the way down 50K, and all these friendly people are like pulling over. Like when we're walking along the road, we put our thumb up. Ever since I got here, everybody's just looking after me and my friend.
So I came here for the trees, and now I feel like I'm stuck in a beehive, and the safety is in the hive, and the honey's in the hive, and the hive is working to uphold the tree that it's in.
Yeah, I'm here because of climate change. I believe climate change is the biggest threat to humanity that we've ever faced, bigger than all the wars combined and all the diseases combined.
Why are you here?
Because we have no other option. Hi, my name is Thunderbird. I'm here for all of my relations, standing for all of the creatures, all of the trees.
Why are you here?
To protect the earth that has protected me for my whole life, and to support those people and say no more.
Oh my God, I'm here because the earth is so important and called me out here to stand up for it and to use my body and my voice to defend this absolutely gorgeous forest that is here, that we are trying to protect.
Why are you here?
To speak for the beings that cannot do the talking.
I am here for not only the old growth, but for all of the people and the collective consciousness that is so healing and growing in this space.
And to protect the last remaining ancient old growth because they support life in all forms. And my heart has called me here.
Hi, I'm Mama G, and I am here at River Camp because my heart and the forest called me here. When they call it the last stand for the ancient forests, hope that you hear in my voice is the truth of that. There really is only 2.7% left of these ancient old growth forests, and tied and interwoven to that is the culture and the stories of the elders and the children of the Pachadak Nation. I hope that we can save the Didi Dat and the I hope we can save these forests so that they can be left alone and so that those cultures can thrive again, and that we may be humbled enough to learn from them and these forests.
The world that we live in and taking good care of it, and I think it's important to to just take care of the trees and the planet that we've been given, and I also love the community of all people here for a common goal and here because they're passionate.
I'm here to fight for the trees. I'm here to protect the sacred, what's left of the beautiful ancient old growth forest and the sacred connection that has to all of us. And also I'm here to stand up for the people who walked this land before us and the people whose land this is, and I'm here to just play whatever role I can in standing up and making a statement that we don't agree with what's happening and no longer accept the annihilation of the ancient forests. We need what's left for many reasons, but for me the biggest reason is the sacred spiritual connection that it has and of the whole system of that forest to sustain life and to repopulate this island that's been devastated with the seeds of that old growth.
I'm here because I care about the ancient forests and all that they provide for our land, they clean our water, and there's no reason that they need to be logged. This is, it's old growth and there's so much second growth to be harvested. There's a way to do sustainable logging. We're not here because we want to take away people's jobs or stop logging totally and live completely paperless. We're not trying to do that. We just want these very specific ecosystems, these very specific trees to be honored and to be left alone to seed the forest and to provide for the land and live in their strength. And it's a really simple request, and I don't know why there's so much fuss about wanting to log these, old growth trees when the reality is there's so much other resources that's in this land to be harvested in a sustainable way that makes sense for the people and for the environment.
I was called to be here. I was called by the ancient trees. I was called by the land defenders. I was called by the pollinators and the plants. And now that I've landed here at River Camp, I'm learning how to deepen my practice of listening, how to process the fear that I've internalized from the police state, and that we can organize together collectively to slow down industry, to slow down these tools of the settler colonial state, so that we can change the story and we can start telling new stories.
I'm here because these are sacred lands and I wanted to come and see for myself what is here in this forest and experience being in the presence of a being thousands of years old, potentially before the loss of that. And I work for a nonprofit protecting old growth forests, so I needed to come and witness what's happening here at Fairy Creek to know what we're trying to save together.
I'm here because this is the last stand, like they say. And I fly to the Yukon with my grandkids all the time. They're First Nations, and I fly to Calgary to see my mom. And you see all these valleys cut, and all the horrible waste. I was a logger in the 70s in the Yukon, and we could never leave this mess behind. It was all select falling. Nothing was wasted. Big fines if you left a tree more than that high or anything under 4 inches in the bush. This is disgusting what they leave behind, and now they want to take the last of this tree museum? No, not gonna happen, not on my watch. That's why I'm here.
And cut it all down and sell it for money. And if I wasn't here, that's exactly what would happen. And if these people weren't here, that's exactly what would happen. So I'm here to stop that from happening, because if we don't, it's gone forever. It's that simple.
Well, that's really funny. I had a weird dream last summer which reminded me of this, and then my friend came a couple weeks and she was like, oh yeah, they all have playa names and shit. And I'm like, oh damn, like those are my people. That's what I want to be doing, and that's what I want to be with. And, you know, science, you know, their shit's backed up. They know what the industry needs to do to make sense, you know, in today's world. And that's something I have a lot of respect for. It's not just something that's like, you know, we want to save the trees because we can. This is a really, really well thought out philosophy for why we're doing this. And like I said, I've got a lot of respect for that. And this whole week, I haven't had any doubt that this is where I want to be and this is where I should be.
Why are you here?
Well, take a look at the slash pile. We want to keep Fairy Creek watershed spared from this. It's the last we got.
Why are you here?
So I was a Western red cedar in a previous life, and I'm sitting at home watching the rainforest in Brazil, and I'm saying, look what's happening in my backyard. So I turned off the computer and I came out here.
I just want to see for myself. Just have to see for my own eyes.
I'm here because I am an able-bodied person and I want to be an ally to help getting land back.
In Victoria, you can't even cut down a tree that's bigger than a foot diameter because of climate change. And they cut down these trees. It's not right. It doesn't make any sense.
So why am I here? I'm here because of my son. Yeah, I'd like him to have a future with the forest and for his children as well, to see and experience this extraordinary section of forest. I mean, I don't want to see it cut down. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Let's leave it. It's just a small portion. We can cut elsewhere. And selectively cut, and in so many ways. It's not that I'm against logging by any means, but intelligent logging. This is not.
I'm here for a number of reasons. I think our ancient trees are one of the most valuable parts of our ecosystems, and we need to work to preserve the few that are left. I'm here to show support.
There are cedar trees that are over 2,000 years old, and during a climate and biodiversity crisis, myself and others find it morally irreprehensible to destroy these forests for corporate profit. And that's why we're here today, to say enough is enough, and that these ancient forests are worth more standing. Woo!
I'm here because Mother Earth is the foundation for my health and well-being and safety, and the trees are the protectors for the water.
I'm here because I spent most of my life never setting foot in a real forest. It's always plantations, and then a couple of years ago just making the trip to Carmana and just feeling the difference being in an ancient forest, just feeling it under my feet and breathing in that air and just feeling robbed of that.
You know, I didn't know I could have the best day of my life at my age, and I wasn't sure I would have it, but I had it today. So much inspiration. And then to come up here and be with the trees that we've been talking about, actually be with them and see the majesty and meet the people who are working so hard here. What an inspiration. And I've been at this for 30, 40 years, you know. This has been great. And good for you, young Canadians and Indigenous and people from all over the world. That's all.
I'm here because I stand with Native, and I understand that this is unceded territory, and I want to protect the old growth forest. So, this place is just so beautiful and amazing, and there's so much great people. So, yeah.
I'm here because someone has to. I'm here because the next generation had the right to see this. This is who this all belongs to. I'm here because some people came when there was civil war in Spain. They came international people, even from here in Canada. So I'm happy to be here. So happy.
Why? I am here to heal and to be healed, and I am here to save and to be saved.
Why are you here?
I'm here for my kids.
Well, I came for the artist in residency program
I guess it's important for me that when I'm making work that I rely on like the environmental and the anthropological lessons of the land that I'm working on to help me make decisions with painting for composition and aesthetics and stuff like that. And it just seems like such a unique experience to be here, where we're in the middle of this ecological crisis and there's important trees that we're trying to save, and I'm documenting them in paint. I can maybe get that message out. And then couple that with processes of decolonization and as shepherds of the land on their rightful territories and their rightful nations. There's been a lot of hurt that's been done. The longer that I'm here, the more that I realize that that is in fact affecting this land in real time now.
BC NDP needs to be held accountable for their promises that they have not upheld, and they need to work closely with the Indigenous communities. A friend of mine told me the only way forward is to go back.
I'm here because I think as like a white person who has the resources to be able to sort of like uproot my life for a few weeks, I think I have a huge like moral and ethical responsibility to do so. Since there are so many people who don't have the resources and ability to do that, and yeah, I think to me this is not just about like saving the trees. It's like one struggle that's a part of many bigger struggles for liberation.
Well, I'm here to resist colonial capitalist extractivism. You know, my ancestors, some of them came from Scotland and Ireland and England, and there's hardly any forests left in these places. And they, you know, were pushed to move to Mohawk territory, formed a Gaelic-speaking community in southern Ontario. And I've lived there, you know, and it's hard to find a good forest in southern Ontario. It's all been cleared. I'm here to break that cycle of clearing land and try to resist against that.
Tanche Kia. I am a Chief Nation, and I am here to protect the old growth. It took me a long time to decide on whether or not to come here, to understand that I'm an uninvited guest and that this is unceded patch of that territory. But I've come to understand that we're not just fighting for old growth protections, we're fighting for the land. We're fighting colonized and colonial forces that mean to threaten and exploit. We need to understand that the Patchedats are the land. The people are the land. And by coming here, you are also protecting them. And that's not enough. We don't hear that enough. And I think we need more supporters to come here and protect the Patchedats.
I'm here because I'm sick of the way we treat the planet, the whole place. Like, this place looked like a nuke area, like someone dropped a bomb. And yeah, the way we treat each other, the way we treat the First Nation. And yeah, this circle have to stop, and yeah.
I am here because I love those forests, and I feel like they are the reason why I'm still sane in this absolutely crazy world. Every time I come here, I'm just amazed at the beauty and the diversity that exists here, and I really feel like we have to preserve this for all future generations. There is no other way. This logging needs to stop. The logging of old growth forest is insane, and there is no other word for it.
I'm here because this land was once all old growth forests, all the way down into California, up to lose the very last little bits of old growth it's too much. We absolutely have to save this little tiny bit of what's left of ancient forests, ancient soils.
I'm here because these blockades are the only thing keeping the NDP and John Horgan accountable to protecting old growth forests and committing promises they made to the Strategic Old Growth Review Report. And as well, environmental activism can never truly fulfill its destiny without being intersectional with Indigenous rights. So we are here to enforce that as well.
Yeah, and this movement hopefully will act as a step towards decolonization and communication with Indigenous communities. And we want to protect these forests not just for future generations, but also because they're their own universe. They're so full of life, and they're their own ecosystems, and there's just nothing like it. And I grew up here, and I feel like everybody can find a home in these forests.
And once they're gone, you can never get them back.
There's so little left. In a few years, there's not going to be any left, so we might as well stop now. Make a just transition for everybody.
Great question. Yeah, I've been here for a very long time. I started in Clayoquot Sound. Well, I started in the Sitka. I got arrested there with Bobby Arbus back in '89, I think that was. And then I moved on to Carmana and Walbrand. I did tree sits in Walbrand. 4 years in Clayoquot Sound, and got arrested illegally in Clayoquot Sound the year before the mass arrests in '92. I was picked off the side of the road with 4 other people and taken straight to jail. Court found us guilty of impeding the impeding the loggers, which we hadn't done because it was already down that day, and the loggers had gone to work when we got arrested. And we were given 3 weeks in jail. We were the first to get jail time for hugging trees. And so I've been involved for quite a long time.
I'm here because I am opposed to the destruction of these ancient forests. 97% of the province has been ravaged by greed and industrial extraction techniques that leave the forest barren. They call it harvesting, but it's not harvesting, it's destroying. We are in the middle of a climate collapse and an ecological collapse. And we know better to allow this practice to keep going. So I'm here to stand up for my biome, for our biome, because what happens here affects everything else. It affects you and me.
I'm here with a youth-led organization called Trees for Tomorrow, and we are here to stand in solidarity with land defenders and to protect ancient and old-growth forests. We have 2.7% left, and they are a vital part of biodiversity on the island and in British Columbia at large. It's so important. If you want any more information or you're interested in taking action within Victoria, please follow at trees_for_tomorrow. Thank you so much.
I'm here with a youth organization called Trees for Tomorrow, and we're here to support protecting the old growth and Indigenous sovereignty. I grew up visiting these trees, and I want them to be here so that I can continue to visit them.
I'm also here with a youth-led organization called Trees for Tomorrow, and I am here so that nothing like this ever happens again, so that the world can breathe and so that we don't destroy our entire planet, and also standing here for Indigenous sovereignty.
I'm lucky to be here, but I'm here to help stop the systems that oppress us, and that's in the general form. So the system oppresses Indigenous rights and oppresses our right to clean air, clean water, and to have right to our own lands, or to actually be visitors on these lands. If I can do a little bit, that's awesome. Please come join us. Call all the people, call Horgan, call Minister of Forests, call the CRD, call them 5 times a day.
I'm here as an ally of the Pachidat and Dididat First Nations people, a land defender for the old growth forest, a BC resident, born and raised, and a tree lover. We're here to support and show love to everyone and get the stance and results that we need to stop the logging. Thank you.
So I'm here because, like a lot of island kids born and raised on the island, the forest is our playground, and my young sons are up here on their own defending our ancient right, hopefully for their children. And if you're like me and for reasons outside your power can't be up here physically, please feel free to bring up supplies and even come up for a day. Check it out. It's worth the drive.
I'm here at the Fairy Creek Blockade because I feel like this resource is an irreplaceable asset that not only gives us a future in developing land and learning about local ecosystem, but also it's a spiritual asset that empowers us to connect to the world in a deeper way. And if we lose it, there's no replacing it. It is literally irreplaceable.
Why are you here?
To use my body to stand in the way of the government and law enforcement. I was arrested yesterday and I'll be arrested again to save the trees.
I'm here because I have grandchildren, I have children, and I want them to have a planet and a place to live. These forests are a key part of it.
I'm here to support all the forest protectors, the old growth forests, the trees. When you're standing among them, it's like nothing else. It's gotta be saved.
I am here to protect, to stand up for the forests that can't stand up for themselves, and to support the First Nations people living on these lands.
Here because I spend a lot of time outdoors here, foraging with my family, and I want to protect old growth forest and hold my head up high and know I protected it, and I hope to make a difference.
I'm here today to stand up for the old growth that sustains our life as we know it. They don't have a voice and we do, and this is what's right. We've got to take a stand for them, so that's why I'm here today.
I am riding my bicycle from Victoria to the Blockades to stand in solidarity with the land defenders protesting the logging of old growth forest.
To support life. I'm here to stand in solidarity for the Indigenous people, with the Indigenous people.
I feel that the old trees are their own sovereign beings that have their own rich internal life and communication with one another, and I believe that their ties to the land are extremely important for cultural significance, spiritual significance, and ecological significance, and I'm here to protect what's good, and I think that's good.
I'm here because I believe that to return the land back to the Indigenous people, we have to fight for what they believe in, and the trees are what they believe in. Trees speak through them and for the whole world. Yeah.
I'm here because the deep forest, the old growth, is so much more than just about lumber. And actually I'm here to heal myself, to be able to get back to right relationship on all levels. And this is a great chance to create community and to see the win-win for everybody, and not just a conflict of two, but a problem that can be solved by the many.
Well, the old growth has a really special place in my heart. My partner and I got engaged in a wall brand last year, and I feel like it was the magic of that place that really brought us to that step. When right then and there we said, if people were threatening this place, we would chain ourselves in front of bulldozers and things, and little did we know that within less than a year that situation was actually going to become a lot more real. So I'm here to try and see what I can do to help and find a role.
To do whatever I can to stop falling of the last of our ancient old growth. It's absolutely tragic that this government has allowed Cumbies to take the rest of it down. There isn't much, less than 2% of the original. Less than 3% of our forest base in BC can even grow old growth forest. And well over a year ago, there was only 2.7% of that 3%. It's insane, it's ludicrous, there's no excuse. The public subsidizes this industry. We are paying to lose our ecological support systems.
I couldn't imagine anywhere else where I should be other than here right now.
Where else would you want to be? It's a beautiful part of the world, and there's so little of this very precious old-growth forest left in our province, especially on this island, that I think it is criminal that this remaining jewel in the crown is subject to being cut down. I live on Pender Island. This is part of the coastal Douglas fir ecosystem, which is one of the most threatened ecosystems in the planet, and certainly in BC. And we have our own fight there, but this forest is so unique that I think I had to come and bear witness to what's going on.
I'm here because of our grandkids who, if we don't save these fragments of the forest, the old growth forests that are left, they'll never even know what they're missing. The forests are like our Taj Mahal. There are cathedrals, there are a place of regeneration, spirituality. If you just walk in there, if you've never seen an old growth, but I've seen many, they're just staggering. And here it's so beautiful. There are birds that you'll probably never see if you cut down these trees, like the northern goshawk. There's the western screech owl. There's probably karst caves in there. All of these are protected. And imagine bulldozing a museum before you even know what's in it. I mean, it's outrageous, you know, that you can't save this last 2.7% of ancient forests.
People need support, and we are everything here. We are the planet. The planet needs our support, and in helping that, I'm going to be helping everybody, including a part of myself.
I'm here because, as a mushroom picker, I've had the chance to walk through the forest and take a look at how all the different types of plants and animals and organisms, including the fungi, all work together and help perpetuate this forest. And I've noticed the night and day difference between second growth and old growth forests. And second growth is not nearly as amazing as old growth. What would happen if we lose this old growth forest is we'd be losing a minimum 2,000-year-old. Cutting it down is the absolute worst thing we could do. It's an absolute waste of very rare organisms. And yeah, we can't afford to be losing this ecosystem.
We are nearing our very last stand, and I feel that I have to be here. And so I'm going to be here as long as I can to try to save as many of the ancients.
I'm here to support these amazing people that are working so hard for something that is important for the future, for me, for my kids. This is my first time here, and I'm overwhelmed by everyone's amazing energy and effort, and this really has to stop. It goes way beyond just us. It's a ripple effect into the rest of people's lives.
I'm here because activists have been well informed, caring people have been talking about the trees for 80 years, 50 years, 30 years, and coming from Quebec and Ontario. And getting out here is absolutely beautiful, but the first thing I saw when I hit Victoria was what's going on in Langford and all the construction there. And the first thing that came to my mind was, what's this place going to look like in 15 to 20 years? What's this?
Why are you here?
The same reason everyone is here, to protect our old growth forests, our Indigenous brothers and sisters, and the Pachidat and Dijidat land that we're on. I'm here because I care.
I'm here because of this. Because of all the clear cutting of the old growth forest, because we only have 3% of our forest left, and ultimately because of my own personal belief in a Christian God who calls us to steward the earth well. And I don't think that cutting our old growth when we don't have to is stewarding the earth well, and I don't believe it's responsible.
I'm at Fairy Creek Blockade because I know the biggest difference I can make is with my 2 feet and my 2 hands.
My initial reasons for coming, so I would say that I am here to support and hold space in any way I can for the individuals who are stepping out of their communities and taking on more ancestral and spiritual roles, and how difficult that is, and all of the complexities that they are dealing with. Because even me, as like a person on the outside, just reading about it, it's very overwhelming. And so I'm just here to be a part of that process. And connected to that are all these other things like, like resource extraction, for instance, logging old growth, and, LNG and expansions of pipelines. So I don't see it as just here for old growth. It's like, everything that's connected to it.
I feel as a Métis daughter of Turtle Island, it is my sacred duty to be a part of this and protect the growth and our lands that we live on.
Hi everyone, my name is Jula George Lawyer. I am camp name is Jojo. I am over here to protect the environment, to protect the old growth, to protect human rights.
I'm here to help save old growth forests and to specifically tell the story of the protesters out here doing just that.
I'm here because I followed this issue for a long time from away from here, and I felt like I needed to put my own eyes on what was going on. I needed to see the trees, and I needed to see all the people that have sort of poured their hearts and passion into trying to protect this place.
I'm here to help give all the people that are here and putting their time in and making sacrifices, help give them a voice. As filmmakers, we've got tools to help tell stories and meaningful stories, and there's, again, a lot of sacrifices being made and some profound stories, and that's going to help change policy.
Indigenous sovereignty, man. Ancient old growth forest protection, and the knowledge that this is not just one movement, but all of the movements. We're here representing humans evolving, down with industrialism, corporate colonialization. No way.
I'm here because it seems to be the only place that makes sense. People around here are really tapped into like the truth, and I feel like it's the only place away from all the disillusionment and lies and the media, social media, and everything that's going on in those worlds, and we're just here in the real world, and that's why I'm here.
I'm here for the people, to support my friends, and also to support the forest, the indigenous, and all the good things in between. Things that builds the fabric of why I would be here. But I think the only way to really know would be to be here. I gotta say, as much as I love the forest and the nature, it's really the people that make it happen. That's one of my favorite parts. It's so much fun. Every day is so much fun, but there's lots of work to be done, which is also really good. I kind of like that, needed that in my life. There's a little bit of consistency and purpose to do something that is right, and do something that matters.
Well, we're here today to come and show support because a lot of people think the way we do, but it's hard to convey that without being here. So we've told our MLAs, and we've spoken to our friends, and it feels like the next step is to be present. And we also want to experience the company of the trees, and we've brought our son to make sure that he gets to see what's at stake, because I feel that if at a young age he connects with not just the trees, but what the forest brings, what those trees support in terms of the ecosystem around, it will remain with him, and also to show him the complexity of the matter, how it's not just a matter of saying, oh, okay, we're going to stop doing this, boom, and that can happen, that it's really a process that involves a lot of different interests that are established, a lot of history, a lot of problems that are difficult to solve, and that his generation might have the opportunity to come up with those solutions, but coming up with a solution is going to mean holding on to different values, so that the solutions can include some values that make sense to everyone.
Well, I care for the trees a lot, but I've never been very activist and come into any of protests and stuff. So I really this time wanted to come here and see what it's all about, and be in the forest and support those people who are really going, going their efforts on supporting the trees and making sacrifices. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I'm here to save the forest, hopefully.
I'm here because this is the last time in human history that we're going to have trees like this. I don't think that should ever be undervalued. And I feel like in our society right now, that is undervalued. So I would like to be here so that my children know that in even my heritage, that we save these trees, because I think they're really worth saving.
I'm here to stop the destruction of nature and to preserve its beauty for generations to come.
I'm here because I wanted to see it for myself. We've seen so much in social media, and I think it's really important to come out and check it out for yourself. And I grew up seeing these forests, like growing up in Vancouver Island, and I would like everybody to be able to see this, my kids, my grandkids.
I'm here because these ancient forests are one of the most important technologies that we have on the planet to slow the worst effects of climate change down. And I want to see a future where my children and grandchildren can experience these forests.
I'm here because this is a momentous point in time where we have an opportunity collectively for reconciliation between settlers and Indigenous people to come together and do something right that benefits all of our children's future and the planet itself. And there couldn't have been a better time for everyone to come and come together.
I'm here because we're invited by Bill Jones to be here, and there is only 2.7% left of this beautiful old growth in this province, and I think it's really important to have bodies on the ground supporting people that has been here for a long time and bring new energy here to protect these trees.
I'm here to support Indigenous rights and the Hereditary Chief Victor Peter and Elder Bill Jones, who have invited us to support them in defending their territory, and they have asked for a deferral of all old growth logging in their territory, and I'm here as an ally to support them.
I am here to help protect these amazing, beautiful old growth trees that have been here for centuries and thousands of years before humans and settlers came to this land, and to respect the wishes of the elders and the chiefs in this area, and just to do what we can before this amazing ecosystem is taken forever and will never come back.
I'm here because I want to help save the trees and be part of the movement, and I feel like I was brought here for a reason.
I felt the call and I came. Here I am.
I'm here to assist a friend in his adventure to come out here and support this movement. For myself particularly, I would like to see some change within the government itself, and seeing what kind of channels we can open up to get the conversation on the table about what is actually at hand here and what is required, and for people that actually come together on both sides. That way everyone can work together, and at the end of the day, working together is what it's all about. And if we can accomplish that and being here to make that happen, then that's my purpose.
I'm here to help spread images of what's going on up on the ridge here at the headwaters of Ferry Creek, and show the story of there's a bit of a war going on back and forward. No violence, but lots of back and forth between the teams. People protecting the rainforest, police are doing their job, and then the corporations are trying to get to their wood. So yeah, I'm just trying to help out in any way I can, and just here to support, really.
I am here because we brought a crew together. We came up here a few days ago, and the main mission was to really capture the beauty of the place, the beauty of Ferry Creek drainage itself, but also the area, and to bring back some beautiful images to the rest of the world, so that they can see what's really at stake in the end.
I'm here because my mom was here. My mom was here when I was a child, and I want to be here for my little guy so that he doesn't have to be here so that we can have old growth forest for the next generation and the next and the next. It's imperative.
Yeah, so the reason I'm here is because traditionally, by day, I'm a evil corporate executive that runs a evil corporate business. And I wanted to see what it was all about for myself and not just take anyone else's word for it. And I did. I came here a few weeks ago. This is my second time coming back, and the reason I'm coming back right now is so I can actually contribute. So not only am I adding my voice to it, but I'm actually doing my own project as well in the cryptocurrency NFT space to put some new eyes on this, on the blockade, on Ferry Creek, what Teal Jones is doing.
Well, basically, if you don't have trees, you don't have air, and if you don't have air and trees, you're dead.
Because Elder Bill Jones invited me to these unceded lands of the Pacheedaht people, I'm here to stand up and protect my Indigenous friends and family, and I'm here to connect with everyone and live in harmony and abundance. Thank you.
I'm here because I really care about these ancient forests, and I'm not from Canada. And when I first experienced these trees, I was completely changed, and everybody should have the opportunity to come and experience what it feels like in this forest, from the smells to the colors. It's worth protecting, and it's worth doing everything that you can to make sure that these forests stay intact. So take this message, go out into the forest, and know that this area is worth protecting, not only this area, but all old growth forests and all the environment. So it's beautiful out here.
I'm here for the challenge of the unknown, trying something new, and exploring why I should be here. I'm just following my heart.
Because I respect nature, and I think we need to coexist together. Destroying what's left of the old growth is honestly terrifying, because once we destroy that, there'll be nothing left of our historic land.
I'm here on behalf of my ancestors to protect the land and these trees, but I'm also here for the community and all the people that I've met. They have become my family, and this is my home now, and I am super grateful to be part of this movement and to be able to stand with all the connections and people that I've made to help protect this forest.
Here for humanity, here for the trees, the old growth, endangered trees, the environment, to protect this specific area, but this stands for so much more, being here in commune and working with good people for freedom, justice, truth, peace, and so many things. I'm here for a lot of reasons, and this is really important.
Look at all this waste wood. This is what Teal Jones leaves behind. It's a disgrace.
I'm here because I think we need to protect the old growth forest first. I think we also get the government to wake up and review forestry practices. It's just been terrible the way the logging companies are log and run attitude. I used to come and climb mountains all over the Vancouver Island in the 70s, and we would see a cut block and then solid forest and another cut block somewhere, and they would be replanted and thinned carefully. Now it's just cut and move on to the next site, cut and move on, and there's no continuation to make sure that the second growth will be healthy. And I'm here for the kids. I'm here for the next generations. You know, the forests are health issue. The lungs are weakening, the lungs of the planet.
I'm here to see if I can stop this destruction, this chaotic, it's outrageous what they are doing. There is no legacy. What can live for our children and grandchildren? The government claims that they care about the environment and what all our problems that they're claiming they're doing their best. No, they are not. It's just all BS. It's awful that they are destroying these 1,000 years trees, and they still can justify their actions. They claim that, you know, what they are doing is a cause why they are doing, and I don't understand this. This is the last pristine trees, beautiful trees, and we're just destroying it.
Because of this, because of that, because this just makes so much more sense than anything else I could be doing right now. That's why I'm here.
I'm here to make a portrait of this grandmother tree and to be present here at the blockade and to engage in conversations with people and also the place.
I think that this is that moment in history when everyone is required to take a stand. It's really down to the very last of what's left of these natural, primeval, ancient ecosystems. And the forest is a sentient being. It's not just about the trees, because the forest itself has been growing and changing with all of these layers of life since life began.
Why are you here? It's really important that we get these images and video out to the wider world, and that the world sees the injustice that's happening here on unceded Pashidat territory.
Yeah. I'm here because the BC government is not doing its job, and they're being manipulative and dishonest in hiding behind their pretense that they stand for Indigenous issues, Indigenous sovereignty, when they haven't demonstrated that in the past, particularly in the Wet'suwet'en situation. So it's up to us.
I'm here for the people, for the land, to meet people that I can connect with and to connect with the land, and also for the community that grew up on this land and have protected it for thousands of years.
I'm here because if we were talking about people whose job it was to suffocate children, we wouldn't be diddling about details, you know? There would be no question, you know? And who's to say we're not?
So right now I'm here at the junction of Gordon River and Braden, Maine. As you can see here behind me, the RCMP are about to move through and enforce the injunction. Myself and others find that the injunction is illegitimate. It doesn't respect Pashidat law, and we're here on the invitation of Bill Jones to say enough is enough, and that these ancient trees are worth more standing. And that the longer that the police use these heavy-handed tactics, the more it's just going to escalate the issue, and the more taxpayers' dollars are going to be wasted. So I really hope John Horgan wakes up and acts, because I don't know how much longer this circus can go on for.
I'm here to support the protesters and also out of curiosity. I'm new to BC, and I'm just learning about logging and its impacts in both jobs, because people need jobs, but we also only have one forest.
I'm here just to document what's happening here and try to get it out. Try to get it out to the people who can't be here, people who aren't able to see it.
Why are you here?
I'm not allowed to have it here, so it's just gonna be like here. Because they're petty as fuck.
I'm here to protect
the indigenous land that we've colonialized over the last couple hundred years.
I'm here to document what's happening as part of a little documentary film that we're doing, and we just want the world to see what's happening out here, why people are putting their bodies on the line for the trees, and what the RCMP is doing. Most of it illegal, and we've been getting very restricted access as media, getting very few direct access to the arrests, and that has to stop.
I'm here because I love the forest and it's precious to us, and there's nothing more essential than the nature experience. The necessity of nature's experience is what we are all here, and that's what's going to be left after we defend this beautiful forest for generations.
I'm here because our trees are the reason that our environment is the way that it is, and our ecosystems are the way that they are, and if we cut them down, then everything is going to fail, and more bodies is what helps here. Like yesterday up at Waterfall, they thought that they were going to lose their setup there because there were more cops and people, and then 30 of us showed up and nothing happened and we took it back. So that's everything, right? Like, just the more people, the better. That's how it's going to change. That's why I'm here.
I'm here because I'm on Wilderness Watch. This land is sacred and it should be treated as such, and it's not, and we have a duty to it to protect it. And this is so much bigger than the trees. This is about a system that doesn't work for the people, and it doesn't work for the land. And people who are protecting apparently what's important to the industry are being violent, and it's not acceptable. And we have a duty to do something about it.
I'm here to throw a metaphorical wrench in the metaphorical machine of capitalist colonial state and protect these lands.
I am here because I'm a stewardess. We are all stewardesses and stewards to the earth. This is our mothership. We have treated it with no respect for so long, and I'm tired of it. And I'm here to protect the sacred for future generations.
I'm here to take a stand for some of the last old growth forests and advocate for the return of the land to Indigenous peoples so that we can all live in a better, more harmonious world.
I'm here because I think, aside from everything else that was going in my life, this is probably the most important thing I could be doing, because this isn't just my future, it's everyone's future, and as well as it being future, it's also history and past and culture, and I think that deserves to live on.
I'm here to be a voice for the trees because they don't have a way of speaking in which dull ears can hear. It's really important to respect these beings that are so much more ageless than we are, and respect the positive impact that they have on us spiritually and ecologically. And I'm here to be a voice for them, and to be a voice for people that might not have the strength or the means to speak up.
I'm here because nature has a primordial pulse, and that pulse beats within my very chest, and she is me and I am she, and it's up to us to protect the very thing that exists within us.
I'm here because as a settler in a country of genocide, I think that it's kind of all of our duty to care that these powerful authorities that are the RCMP can continue to remove Indigenous youth off their land and can continue to protect massive corporate profit over any sort of living, breathing thing. And I think that, has to end.
Because the big trees are really special, and we don't have to keep doing what we're doing. And I I think that collectively when you see how many people feel the same, it's really encouraging.
I'm here because I want to stand out for the future of the planet and do what's right.
I'm here because if it was not for trees, I would not be here, truthfully. When I have been in moments of struggle in my life or questioning my worth, I've gone to the forest, and the trees have held me like no other beings, and I have returned to my own heart time and time again through their presence and care and support. And I moved to BC, and that is an incredible privilege, honor, blessing, and the Indigenous peoples who have cared for this land, are made of this land, work with this land, are so deserving to see these trees standing for their future generations. And I am here to support Indigenous sovereignty and to see this planet continue so that my niece can go and cry in the woods when she's having a hard day.
I'm here because I think all of humanity is here in our hearts, and there is no living without the trees. I'm here because I feel like I need to rekindle my humanity. I know the trees will continue living, but I can't say the same for our humanity. And I think that's really showing here. It's showing in the most beautiful, incredible ways that we can all find our humanity built upon such a tragic circumstance. The trees are where we come from, and I think that's where we all end up. Back in the ground, back with the earth.
We're here is to save the trees. The trees are the lungs of the planet, and if we don't save the ancient forest, we're just killing ourselves, and it's about time we stop.
Witness the untouched wonders, continue to protect that which has been rejuvenated and that which remains resilient. I'm here because it is my vow to see the causes of suffering, to aid in their cessation, and set all beings in happiness and the causes of happiness. This is happiness.
To protect these trees and these forests for future generations, and it's bullshit that there's only 2.7% left and they want to chop it down. They can just leave it alone and do second growth logging like they're going to have to do anyways. Yeah, I'm just here to be a presence on the ground and help out and stop them from cutting down trees.
It's a climate emergency, and we should be protecting our carbon sinks and decolonization.
Why are you out?
I'm here. Well, I first came out because I was concerned about the trees, and then I came out and met the people and saw just how important this is, not just to our natural ecosystem, but to our social ecosystem. And I really can't distinguish between the two now. Our relationship with nature reflects our relationship with ourselves. And the way we're treating the forest is in total neglect of nature's ways. And that's a huge problem. And I'm looking for ways to help heal that. And that's mostly why I'm here.
I already got arrested up on Burnaby Mountain protesting the pipeline, and this is just more of the same kind of thing. And you know, we've got to protect the old growth. There's not much left, but it's gone, it's gone. And so I admire what people are doing here, and I came to support them.
Because it gives me hope. Because all the love and strength of all the young people, from the tree sitters to the cookers to the people with their hands in dragons, give me hope. They're saying no to a corporate, greedy, unjust world. And it's what we have to do. We have to take a stand. And I love the trees, and I'm an elder, and they're cutting down the elders of the trees, and it has to stop.
Because this is the last old-growth forest on Vancouver Island.
Because I like it here.
I'm here because this land is sacred and all lands are sacred.
Oh man, to be here, to be a part of helping save what is left of the old growth, which are so important to all of us. And I love the trees, and I just want them to be there and be a part of our future, the children and their lives.
I am here because I love these forests. I grew up out here, Honeymoon Bay, Walbrand. I was 18, living on the lake there with my friends Tom and Neria and my auntie, doing music with Indigenous people, and I found my spirit here, and I think it's our responsibility to protect it and protect the people that are here. Protecting the forest, and this land is Indigenous land and sacred burial grounds and ancient forests that you cannot replace. So I just think we should all stop what we're doing, come down here and do what we can. I'm honestly coming here to also learn. I want to learn more about Indigenous culture and our friends that are here and all of our friends in the forest and what these trees mean to us all and the future of where we're going as a people.
Hi. Well, I'm here, and I've been coming here, and I'm coming back, and I'm here for the trees, for our elders, for our ancestors, and so my granddaughter will be able to come someday and experience and feel the energy and the love. And it's not just the trees, it's the whole ecosystem. And we really have to fight for the last remaining. So do come and join us. It's a wonderful community, and we're safe and we're peaceful, and we're all fighting for the same thing. Thank you.
I'm here because everything deserves to live, no matter how small or big or tall.
I'm here for the trees, but I'm also here to stand for Indigenous sovereignty and Indigenous land rights and land sovereignty. I'm here because there's only 2.7% of old growth forest left. And it breaks my heart. And I love them. And I care a lot. Yeah.
I'm here because it feels like I need to be, and I love the trees.
The destruction of the last remaining ancient old growth, and help Mama Earth. She needs our help right now. We need to stand together communally to show her respect and care and honor what's left.
I'm here because I live in the Chalmers territory. My grandchildren are a Howsit, and I am so grateful and honored to be invited to Pachi territory to help save the last stand of ancient forest on southern Vancouver Island. We need our wild. We need our wild to stay wild. If our wild doesn't stay wild, the way the earth wanted it, we're in deep trouble. Keel Jones can stop. They have second growth to log.
Really worth taking out the very last ancient forest for 2 more years as jobs for fallers. The jobs are going to end very soon. Leave some ancient forest, super natural British Columbia.
I'm here to take back what was stolen from us while defending the old growth forest for the next generations to come.
Cutting down 2,000-year-old red cedars like this in the middle of a biodiversity and climate crisis is a crime against humanity and must be stopped.
Well, I'm here to support the movement here that's here to protect the ancient temperate rainforests, which are really special. These trees that are up 1,000 years old, these ancient forests that have such value to our ecosystems, that are so important to just everything around us, life, everything, every single life creature that lives in this whole coastal rainforest area, including humans. And we have just 1% of the forest remaining. I think it's clear that there's no time to stop anymore if we want to retain that important biodiversity and just the spiritual and moral side of things, which is another piece to it, which it just all comes together, and we just don't have any time to really waste anymore to stop the cutting of these old growths.
Mark, I'm here to protect the trees. I think it's pretty sick what the government is doing, tearing these beautiful trees down. They're some of the oldest and largest in the world. And to lie to their citizens outright, saying they will protect these trees, and then further to put in this type of enforcement against peaceful protesters who are simply trying to hold government accountable to their promises and protect the environment.
My name is Shauna. I'm here to protect the trees as well. We have a beautiful forest out here. The government wants to tear it down. Let's do something to stop it. Let's get up. Let's stand up. Let's have our future generations remember this and remember what we've done.
We're not just talking about large trees. We're talking about ecosystems. We're talking about biodiversity. And for me in particular, that means mycelium. Mushrooms, mycelial networks that connect all of these ancient forests are irreplaceable if you destroy them. Medicines like agarikon take hundreds of years to grow in biodiverse climates. And if we cut these trees down, we're losing the medicines. We're losing the mycelium.
I mean, some of the trees here are older than Christianity. They're like the last stand. There's only 2% of first growth forest left in BC, and there's just no reason for it to be taken. There's like, take second growth, fifth growth, sixth growth, but just not the oldest trees that we have left. It's just, there's no reason for it. Yeah, I mean, we're just here to get those loggers taking first growth forests to put their tools on and leave. Like, just to go away. There's other places to log and no real reason to be logging the last 2% of first growth we've left. Those old trees are like the oldest elders that we have in BC, and definitely worth taking the time to show our respect for, at least to be here to see while we have the last trees left standing.
If we cut them down, generations to come will never ever have access to them. They'll never have the opportunity to see them, experience them, enjoy them. And I don't get it. It's just a little tiny bit of money. There's almost none of these trees left in the world. There's very, very little first growth forest left anywhere in the world. And it's tourism. Why not just turn it into tourism? People from all over the world, forever and ever, for millennia, come here and bring all their tourist dollars to come and look at this valley. And yet we're willing to just chop it all down for, you know, a little bit of money today. And that's not looking at the future. That's not looking at the generations to come. And they come here and bring all their tourist dollars to come and look at this valley. And yet we're willing to just chop it all down for, you know, a little bit of money today. And that's not looking at the future.
I've been following the movement on Instagram for a couple of months, and I think it's really atrocious what the NDP are doing. They're not doing their jobs. They're not protecting the old growth. I spent some time up with the old trees here, and it's really something really, really special. And I think, yeah, these guys need all the support they can get.
So this tree behind me is approximately 1,500 years old, and once it's gone, and it won't come back. You won't be able to grow it back. It will be a tragedy, not just for this generation, but for your children's generation.
Change with our environment, with community, with equality, and I feel like I've been talking about those things, and sometimes it can be very weighing, where I've realized by coming out here that things are possible, and I have hope, and that when we come together we're really powerful. And so I'm here right now. I'm here for our ancient forests. I'm here for our planet. I'm here for the Indigenous people to give their sovereignty back, and here to be the best person I can be.
I'm here in solidarity with those around the globe who are rising up and standing for their calling and what moves them most, for showing up and finding their purpose here in the world. The community I've found out here, who are all on such a strong level together, has kind of eliminated my worry and curiosity about why I'm here in the world. I feel like my questions have been answered about finding my purpose and place. I feel at ease standing up for what the ancient trees, and I feel like the amount of time that I get to spend out here is an incredible privilege that I've been bestowed by my own choices in life to stand up and stay standing up as long as it takes to hold back the destruction of our Mother Earth.
For the species at risk that call this place home. And I'm here to be their voice and to introduce myself to them should they reveal themselves to me, to look for them and to introduce others to them and to know that these places are so sacred to more than anything that we know. It's so far beyond us. So my heart is here for the species at risk.
I'm here to stand in solidarity with all of creation. I believe that that all creatures have a right to live, and that industry and money have had their fair share. So I would like to stand in support.
Because I'm honest with myself.
I'm here because John Horgan has permitted logging companies to go into the last old...
I'm here because those trees should be protected. There's no reason to cut down these old trees that are 1,000 years old.
Why are you here?
We're here to protect these trees. We're here to protect our friends and our family. We're here to protect everything that this earth holds for us. We're here to protect each other. We're here because this is wrong, and we have to stand up for what we believe in and what is right and what is true.
I'm here on unceded Pacheedaht and Dididat territory upon invitation by Elder Bill Jones and Victor Peter. I am here because the RCMP is violent towards our Indigenous youth, and I can use my body as a barrier between the RCMP and the land, between the loggers and the land. And because we need Indigenous sovereignty, we need to protect the land and do our part and use our privilege to do something to better this earth. So I'm here and I'm chained in under this van, and I'll be here until the RCMP take me away.
I'm here because I believe we have a responsibility in with old growth being logged. I believe we need to protect the old growth, and it's irreversible that it could be lost, and this is our last chance to save it. It breaks my heart thinking that it could be gone forever. Such a beautiful place that's given so much to us.
I'm here because I'm a resident of BC, and not just a resident of BC, I'm a resident of the planet, and this old growth does so much for the planet in terms of carbon storage, and just so much for the planet, and just like everything for the world. Like, we are a part of nature. Like, the society tries to make us feel like we're not a part of nature, but we are part of it. And the more we destroy nature, the more we destroy ourselves. And yeah, so I'm here. I'm here to save this old growth.
I'm here to protect the trees that are getting cut down, the old growth. There's only so many left. They're obviously super valuable. It's like insane that they're cutting them down. They're kind of goes without saying, and it's crazy that there's not more people here. Yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever I can with whatever I got to make some sort of difference, because we're all gonna go and die, but these trees, they're like, you know, bigger than all of us, so try and do what we can.
I'm here to do my part, to be on the right side of history.
I'm here to give all the support I can to the really incredible young people who are so brave and have been putting their lives and themselves on the line since August to protect this land, and they're really doing a heroic job for all of us that have been supporting at home. And so I came today to say thank you, keep going, really, you're awesome, thank you.
Yeah, we're up here supporting all of these young people that are actually out here protecting these magnificent old growth forests. They are absolutely fabulous. If you walk up to Eden Grove or back in here, you'll see something you'll never see again in your lifetime. And that's these old growth forests. So we really appreciate these guys who've been on the line for a long time and we're just getting up here to show our support. There are a lot of retirees coming up here, a lot of people that actually voted NDP and probably won't be voting NDP again after this debacle, but yeah, here we are. We just need support for this whole movement here.
I'm here because this is the epicenter of the fight for the last of our old growth forests. This movement has spread out to so many communities around BC, and now they're holding rallies in New York City, in Toronto. This is the time to speak out now. This is the time to protect our forests, and if we don't do it now, we won't have anything left. We need to make an effort to save every last hectare that we can.
I'm here because I think we've lost a lot of Indigenous culture to colonization, and I think that this should be the last important thing that we lose.
I'm here for the people, the trees, the animals.
I am here for the Indigenous land keepers. I have never felt more of a connection to the land than when I'm here standing in solidarity.
So,
this is a powerful space, and it's a powerful thing to protect. And the more you immerse yourself in this community to protect this forest, the more it energizes you and unites people and spreads love and awareness and standing in solidarity and everything. Yeah.
I'm here on the unseceded territory of the Pacheedaht Nation at the invitation of Elder Bill Jones and Hereditary Chief Victor Peters to support them in their way, to help support them protect their land on their unceded territory. It is a very important land, both for the peoples and in terms of biodiversity, in terms of like the forest, the trees, the watershed, all of the different animals that live in it.
I'm here mainly for the old growth. I really, really believe in saving the old growth, but I'm also here because this grass movement is the most incredible movement I have ever been a part of. The love and caring and calm and inclusivity of this community that has been here has been so touching that I need to come to be with everyone because I support all the values that are here.
I'm here to document everything that's going on. I think it's important to have media around this whole situation. As you can see, the police are about to come in and take over this camp right now, or at least try. I think it's really important to document everything so the world can see what exactly is going on the ground here. I think it's very important, mostly because of the accountability that we have to keep the RRCMP to. Yeah.
I'm here to hold space for these beautiful women who have decided to sit down on this road and stop industry for coming up and logging these old growth trees. As an action of solidarity with the Pacheedaht and Dididaht relations who have welcomed us here and asked for our help. I'm here to hold space for these arrestees. There was a woman here earlier who was the First Nations, gave a beautiful land acknowledgement, and I did ask her for permission before I used my drum. This is an elk hide drum, and our camp is Hey Haka, which is the word in Lakota for elk. And two of our Indigenous youth who were here earlier, who intended to get arrested, they named this camp, and we've been holding that space since their intention of arrest.
We came up to help protect the forests that are up here and help stop the loggers from cutting all the trees down and try and block the police from doing some dirty work in the forest.
I'm here to stand with and for the old growth forest.
Yeah.
We're called to be the protectors and the tenders of the garden, and this is our garden, this is our home. If we don't do it, nobody will, so I'm here.
Why are you here?
I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I've been doing this since I was 11. And I can't believe that we now have more people coming, sharing their energy, their resources themselves, putting themselves on the line, and I am still standing for old growth forests.
Here to stand up for the ancient forests. I'm here to learn from the Indigenous land defenders and Chief Victor Peter and Bill Jones. And yeah, I'm here to just show my support.
So I'm here because, well, I'm a concerned citizen, and this is just ridiculous that people are trying to knock this down. Like, this is just a whole bunch of people getting together to defend something that we have hardly anything left of.
Yeah, I'm here because I know that our ancient ecosystems are really at risk, and there's some big problems with not protecting our old growth forests, and there's also some big problems with what information is going around in our media and by our politicians, and I really think that this is not right, and that I know this is an Indigenous-led movement to protect our ancient rainforests, and what information we're seeing in the media is not the same as what's happening on the ground. We're seeing big trees continue to fall. We're seeing Indigenous people standing up to protect them, and we're just complete misinformation in the media to what's happening here. So we've got to get out and stand up to protect these forests for these little ones like this one right here, and for all of us, right?
I'm here because I'm worried and I'm concerned about what's happening at Fairy Creek and really all over the Lower Island, and now I'm going to cry because it's horrifying and it needs to stop.
I'm here because the old trees need defending. Unfortunately, us stupid humans are going to destroy everything, so it's kind of seems pointless because in the end, I think it's all for naught.
I'm here because my family's been here for like countless generations, and it's probably all terrible. So I'd like to stand up for what's left of this country and this province and the people who lived here before us.
I want to see these forests stand. I'm a builder, I'm pro logging, but something's got to change, and not a lot of this forest left. I like being in there, something about it. Thank you.
There aren't that many beautiful places left on this planet that haven't been destroyed by anthropogenic activity, and it's important that we take a stand to save the ones that are remaining.
I'm here because Indigenous sovereignty is protecting the old growth, and because I have been invited here by Elder Bill Jones and Hereditary Chief Victor Peter, and because we have a job to do here, and that is to make sure that these lands are governed by the Indigenous, and we need to help them do that.
I'm here in support of the First Nations in this territory, the Pachadat and the Didadat, and the Indigenous youth, and all of us who want to see this forest last forever, continue to be ancient, so that we can have, something that is there from the old time. And I'm here to lend support during a very difficult time in the world, in whatever way that I can, with whatever tiny little knowledge I may have or may not have. I'm here because I feel a lot of love in my heart for all human beings, all beings on this planet.
I'm here because this is a place, a sacred place, a place to come and gather medicines such as usnea, which is good for lung infections, and to get berries, and to if we have no wilderness left, we won't have a choice. We'll all be dependent on Walmart, and we won't be able to go and gather and fish and hunt our own foods. And yes, this is a very historical time right now. Oh, cedar tree, your life be dear to me.
No, dear, no. Rather work,
If
rather be
you
useful.
are I the first of spring, your blooms say bright and broad. Oh, cedar tree, the fairest of them all.
I like trees. I like trees. Because I want to save the old growth trees, so no. Because I want to save the forest and save the trees.
Well, I'm here because I want to fight to keep giving back to Mother Earth everything that she's given to us. And I think that these trees, these big, huge, ancient, old growth trees are not ours to take. I don't think they're anyone's to take. So I want to leave them standing. And how can you not be here?
Whew. That's lots of reasons. I think because there's 2.7% left of these very big old growth trees left, and I can't imagine not having them around, and especially for myself and for my kids and my nieces and nephews and everyone, and for all the animals that use them. So I'm and I just want to be here to support everyone that's putting, like, you know, people like yourself that are out here, and I want to support them any way I can, and just say thank you so much for people trying to bring awareness to this most special type of habitat that we get in British Columbia. So yeah, I want it to be a legacy for everyone to have forever, whatever's left of it.
I'm here because I care a lot about our ecosystems, our old growth for our kids.
I'm here because I am against corporations taking nature from people when it matters the most to them, and when most people in BC are against old growth logging, it's important that we actually express that and stand up against these corporations. That's why I'm here.
Because I grew up on Vancouver Island and I love and respect the forest.
I heard from my friends about this whole thing, and I'm not even like from Canada itself, but the message resonated with me, and I hate wasting natural resources, so this was like called to come here and see for ourselves what can we do to stop these loggers doing their thing. So
to preserve old growth forests, we can't stop until no more old growth is allowed to be cut down.
I'm here to try to move myself and anyone else who's interested away from the economy as such. That's, I guess, destroying our ability to live on this planet. We're destroying all of our ecosystems through the commodification of ecology, and trying to change that relationship and live in more of a stewardship role towards the ecology that supports human life. That seems like a very important shift at this moment in our progression as a species. So that's why I'm here.
Here to stand up and speak for the trees, for myself and for all future generations to come, and to share what I've learned here with my community back home to hopefully make a lasting difference.
I'm here to document, I'm a cinematographer, the protests for the Green Channel for a documentary they're making, and they are kind of the Netflix of environmental films.
We're here to save the old growth forest. Why are we here, Arlo?
To fight all good forest.
Save the forest? Yeah.
Came on my radar a few weeks ago, which kind of makes sense because that's when like the arrest started, and that's what popped into my head. And then, yeah, for me it was just like not even a question, like why would we cut this down? And I'm super concerned about the environment in general, and I try to live in a way that I think is, you know, mindful of that. And so the idea of us cutting down these ancient trees just made no sense, and so obviously I would come. But what I realized was that for 6 months I've had an article in my bathroom that had like a 2-page spread about Fairy Creek Blockade, and I've read the article twice, and it didn't kind of register in my head to come out here until like a few weeks ago.
I'm here for my family. I'm here for everyone's family. I'm here for my nephews and nieces. I'm mostly here for the trees and for healing of colonialism and like, yeah, the trauma and wound that colonialism has left behind. It all starts with hugging a tree and loving, respecting Earth, respecting everything. And yeah, I'm here to heal and help healing as much as I can, and to create the more beautiful world that our hearts know possible.
I'm here because there's a system within a system that's greater than all of us. And the first tree was around 400 million years old, and I really want to take a stand for the old growth knowledge that we have and that resonates inside of me and inside of community, because there's a part of us that is going extinct in terms of our own inner wilderness. And old growth forests are healing, and there's something about them that's bigger than all of us that we really need to defend.
I'm here because these ecosystems are endangered and they're valuable and they can't be replaced, and neither can the animals or plants that live in them, and I think we lose part of ourselves when we lose them.
I'm here as a voice for the trees and for the future generations that don't have one, and to protect what's rightfully here, beings that we can learn so much from and that deserve to be treated with the same respect as our elders.
Save the old growth, of course. I don't think the provincial government has been acting responsibly, and if they're not acting, they're not going to act on our behalf. So we are going to act on the behalf of the trees.
To help save the last of the old growth before it's all gone.
I'm here because I see no good reason for the old growth trees to come down. And why am I here? These protesters, these courageous people, many of them young, some are risking even their lives, and that's what's standing between the big machines and the ancient forest. And I want to support that. That's why I'm here.
This matters. We need to do this. This is important for all of us.
For my future children and my future grandchildren, and I'm here for all of the Indigenous peoples, to stand with them and beside them and follow them in this overall goal of decolonization and getting their land back.
A sacred responsibility to protect what we love, and for me that's no difference between my 4 kids or monumental 2,000-year-old incredible trees.
Why are you here?
Because ancient old growth forest is irreplaceable.
To support the project here and work and help just save the trees, save the environment, and because it's so important that we keep the trees and all of the nature that's here alive and build it up again.
Was connecting with nature the past few months and has been a huge part of my life. I started hiking in April and May, and literally the trees and nature was probably one of the things that was the most there for me in my life at the time, which was what I needed so much. And I want to do it for that. I want to give it back. I want to do something for the trees because I feel like they've done so much for me, and they listened when nobody else did.
For all my relations, I want this place to last 7 generations and 7 generations after that. Before I came here, I've just been called by the unknown, and once I got here, the people you meet and the end game to save this ancient sanctuary on stolen Indigenous land is the reason I keep on coming back. And I've found a home here, so I intend to keep it sacred and protected as a land defender.
I am here to save the sacred forests and the medicine that is here for the people of the land and my children and their children's children.
I've been driving around BC, planting trees, and for quite a few years now. And I've been watching the forests, and trees everywhere are just dying. There's beetles and drought and fires, and then you have the logging, and so the forests are already dying on their own, from what we've done, obviously. But at this point, it's there's no going back. So I'm here.
I'm here to stand with Indigenous people and save the forest.
I am here at Fairy Creek because it is crucial for our environment to stop the logging of old growth.
I'm here to speak for the trees. I know a lot of people have said that, but it's actually for my son as well. He's only 10. He doesn't get a say in voting, and yet it's his future that is on the line. And we need the old growth. It's supporting such diversity. There's endangered habitat in the old growth. There's something wobbler, a seabird that comes in and nests there. But I'm also here because I used to be a logger. I used to be one of the ones that took pride in providing for my family by wrestling resources from the ground. And now I understand how that's related to colonization. It's related to just grabbing resources at the expense of all the peoples, not just the two legs, but also all the creatures. And that's why I need to make a stand and say it's worth more standing.
I'm here to show my support. I'll be here with my family and save the trees because they're not going to be here if we don't.
I'm here because I'm following in the steps of the teachings of the elders that have taken the time to share their teachings with me and to protect the sacred, that I have an umbilical cord to the earth, and I'm here as a life giver. Those are my teachings, and I took those to my heart, to my indigenous hearts. So as a life giver, I'm here to protect life.
I'm here because of love, because I love our planet, and I want future generations to have this land and to be able to experience, this place, and to say that, we didn't allow capitalism to triumph. And yeah, I'm here for community. It's an amazing community of people, and I'm here in solidarity with Indigenous peoples and protecting their rights as well, because I feel it's a human rights issue.
I grew up on Vancouver Island, and I've just always been quite particular to the nature here. A few years ago, I was quite shocked to hear that they were logging the last of these old growth trees. I had no idea there was even just a few % left, and that this was actually happening was astonishingly shocking to me. And I just thought there was a huge disconnection of the values of how people love nature here, and that it was actually happening. Just profoundly shocking. And the experience of coming here to Fairy Creek, meeting these amazing people, just seeing this power of intention and community and support and love, and it's just the most powerful thing I've ever seen. Learning about all of the suffering caused to the Indigenous people, the exploitation of them, this land has shook my heart and soul, and in essence, that's why I say that I'm here now.
I've been here for 3 days, and when I first came, I had no idea what to expect, really. I came because I'm highly against cutting down old growth forests. Didn't exactly know why it was super bad for the environment, but I've learned a lot, and it's crucial to keep this for the health of the entire earth. I've heard how old growth forest is directly connected to the health of the oceans, and salmon in particular, from the kelp and from the lichen, and it's all connected. And since I've been here, I've been absolutely overwhelmed by the love and the passion of all the people, and we're all working together, and I'm absolutely blown away, and I have to come back, and I will keep on fighting the good fight.
I've always enjoyed getting out in the beauty of nature and getting up close and touching the old growth. It's really powerful. You really can't explain it until you do it yourself. And when I'm out hiking around and I see all the bald patches on the mountains, or even the second and third growth around, I wonder, how beautiful was this in the past before I was around? And I think about how I'm privileged that I can still see some of the old growth left, and I want it to stay around for future generations so that they can enjoy the beauty of it and feel the power of it themselves.
I'm here right now just to support the community and to do what I can, like doing like shift work or helping out in the kitchen. Yeah, just to help out with the community, hang out with good people, stop the loggers, protect the trees.
The old growth forest, 2% of which is left in BC, contains any number of species that are required for us to rebuild from whatever kind of damage global warming is going to get us into. Those trees provide us air and water and salmon and dollars. They're worth more standing, and I'm here to get in the face, respectfully and peacefully, of those who would be the henchmen, the soldiers for commercial organizations that would cut the logs down, all the logs, not just deal with old growth, not just deal with second growth. Old growth forest must stay. It's how we live. We are it. We are trees.
I'm here because I want to support Indigenous sovereignty, because I care about our planet, because I can no longer sit idly by and watch injustice happen and forests fall and the destruction of our planet, because capitalist life is inherently unfulfilling, and because this place gives me purpose. It gives me community. It lends a most beautiful feeling of belonging and usefulness to something I care about. So
I'm here for this beautiful forest that exists since so long, and now that is being destroyed. This forest must be kept as it is. It's beautiful, it keeps us alive.
My skills were needed, and I couldn't think of a better way to use them.
Because this is the most important thing to me.
I'm here to cook for the people that can't cook for themselves because they're trying to save the forest for our generation to come.
I'm here for the trees. I'm here to help keep the supply chain running for the people that can be vocal and be physical and let everyone else know that the roads need to be stopped, the trees need to stop coming down, and the mining claims need to be put on hold so that we can get back to knowing that we have old growth. We can get back to knowing that we have streams that are healthy, and we can get back to knowing that those who are supposed to be managing it for us are managing it with anything besides economic greed.
We're killing ourselves, like it's at the end of the day for money, and you know, the most basic thing, if you look at money, it's just green paper, but what we're willing to do to get that green paper, it's crazy. And it's not against logging, you know, it's against logging the old growth, because there's ways to log sustainably, and this is not it. Like, the modern day logging practices are just horrendous. So much waste and so much for just like there's so many alternate methods that are sustainable, like hemp for one. Like, it just takes 6 months to grow, you know, and no need to touch the old growth. So just things like that. That's what we're trying to to protect the old growth.
Me and the girlfriend, you know, we're from Vancouver Island, and we, as we got older, really wanted to dedicate more and more of our time to the community. And now that, you know, we're a little bit farther in our life as to where we want to be, we decided to really stretch out to see where we could help. And we, you know, realized that this whole Fairy Creek thing is happening in our back door. My girlfriend's whole family comes from a family of loggers, so it was very controversial for her. But I think the real end of it is that these are things that will disappear very quickly if we let them. Whether your opinion is that that's right or that's wrong or whatnot, we want things to stay around so that your kids, their kids, and so on and so forth have air to breathe, have these trees to appreciate. And really, this whole movement has just kind of brought a whole lot of like-minded people together, and there's just so much embrace of love and interconnectedness with this nature that we live within, which I feel so much of our society has moved away from an interconnectedness. We have separated ourselves from this natural world, and realistically, I think that this whole movement brings us closer to what we should be.
Like the environment, to help with knowledge, like spread awareness of what's going on, and to help stop it. If we could.
If anybody else wants it,
right?
Yeah, if you want to hold on to it. I'm here because I grew up on this beautiful island. I have grown up with these beautiful trees and all the beautiful people, and it's just sad to see them ripping it apart and tearing it down. We need to protect the lands for our children. I've got children. If I didn't, I would be out here constantly all the time. But I can't, so I come out every other weekend to help out the people here, cook food, bring them donations, whatever we can do, because they're doing an amazing job protecting this world and this planet for us.
To save this wonderful place and to create this movement with all those awesome people and yeah, to fight for nature.
Asian forests hold an energy and a power that can't be recreated with machines and technology. It's something unique that we were given that holds us and reminds us where we really belong.
So I'm from Australia. I moved here a year and a half ago, and I've never felt so connected to the old growth trees. And the community here, all the people that I met, it's like a family. Everyone works together. There's no currency, there's no commercialism. Everyone's just helping. Every need that you have is filled in with a common goal to achieve saving the trees.
I'm here because I felt called here. Yeah, I want to make a difference, and I want to make the world a better place for my children.
I'm here to make a difference. I'm here to have boots on the ground and help save this old, ancient rainforest and all the other ecosystems that thrive with it. And yeah, I just feel it's very important to save the last of what we have here on Vancouver Island. It's a very beautiful place.
I'm here to stand with and beside my Indigenous sisters and for this land. I think it's really important that we come back to the root of what gives us breath and air, which is this. So yeah, I'm just here to stand up for that because it matters, it counts.
Destroyed by humans and our industrial systems. So I want to put a stop to that. I don't agree with it, and a lot of other people agree with me. And it's a growing movement that you feel people power, like just happening right in front of your eyes, and see how powerful that truly is. And it's exciting to be here.
Well, I'm here for the frogs, for the salamanders, for the creatures that can't fight for themselves. I'm here in solidarity with the rightful title holders, and here to push back against colonialism.
We are the dance of the forest and sun. We are the power in everyone. We are the hope that will never die. We are the turning of the tide. That's why I'm here.